Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about some of the recent updates that we have seen for War Thunder Sim and some more that are well on the way. So if you haven't played War Thunder Sim in a while, I recommend watching this as you may find yourself pleasantly surprised. I'll cover the updates chronologically, starting with the new power update which arrived on the 17th of November 2020. Though it sadly had no real updates for simulator battles themselves, the new power update did introduce the new Dagor 6 engine, as well as the new and improved skies, which greatly improved the overall immersion, especially for VR users. It also brought around a general improvement in performance for most VR users as well. Now, after the new power update, there was no real major changes to Sim until the next major update came around, which was of course the Hot Tracks update, which arrived on the 18th of December 2020. In this update, we saw the improved implementation of aircraft carriers in Enduring Confrontation, so they now spawned in all games with an open sea area, and once spotted, a task was given to players to destroy them. Carriers could potentially respawn up to 5 times, and this was a great addition for those players who had a particular love for naval combat aircraft who often carry torpedoes in their ordnance lineups. So we're talking, obviously the American and Japanese air trees specifically, and also to an extent the British aircraft tech tree as well. Now, a big change came to Sim on the 14th of January in 2021 when Enduring Confrontation 7, EC7, was added to the game. This resulted in much needed decompression for top tier jets, as previously EC6 had a BR spread of 8.0 through to 10.7, meaning that Meteors and ME-163 Comets were facing off against Mark II capable Phantoms, MiG-21s, F-104s, that kind of stuff. It wasn't fun, so that was a very, very, very welcome change. Now after that we had February, which saw several minor patches in the game, but nothing too related to Sim. However, February did see the return of Last Grey Angel, who is the person behind the development of Enduring Confrontation itself. They said they were working towards making changes and improvements to the game mode, much to the joy and relief of the Sim community at large. March of this year saw the release of the Ixwa Strike update, and I apologise if I am pronouncing that wrong, and it included a slew of updates and fixes for Enduring Confrontation, which I will quickly go over now. So, a bug where the same ground battle might begin in several squares, some units spawn in one square and some in another, had been fixed, and a bug where several battles might happen at the same time, usually two opposite battles in the same square, had also been fixed. These two ground battle bugs, especially the latter one, had been a real thorn in the side of players who like to ground pound with attack aircraft, and the improvement to ground battles has made it a much better experience for everyone. Previously, you were actually at risk of bombing your own units in the battles where multiple battles actually spawned in the same map square, as it was almost impossible to tell friend from foe. AI bombers will now be spawned at different altitudes depending on the battle rank, which is excellent for jet games. The Enduring Confrontation map, Karkin Gol, the position of some airfields had been changed. Another potential location for base bombing had also been added. Now, a bug in which some missions' airfields were without air defense coverage has been fixed, which was a very welcome change, especially for the maps Tunisia and Smolensk, where it was felt that some airfields were completely defenseless against strafers and zombies. The AAA defense is still not where it should be in higher tier games, but it is an overall improvement. A bug where a player that rejoined the game session increased the number of victory points for their team has been fixed. Now, this is a bug that was heavily abused for several weeks, because if your team is losing, all you had to do was quit and rejoin a dozen times and suddenly you were in the lead with a massive points advantage. A bug where in the Enduring Confrontation mission in the location Tunisia, the airfields were too close to the centre of the map so that at higher ranks the time of approach to the front line from distant airfields was too short. Tunisia in general is too small a map, but this is definitely a step in the right direction and will hopefully hope to curtail some of the rampant airfield strafing that we have seen on that map recently. The respawn timer for anti-aircraft guns on airfields has been decreased. Previously it could take several minutes after the mission start. Again, this should help a little bit with the problem of airfield strafing. And then there were some fixes for convoys as well. So a situation where the ground convoys stopped appearing in general has been fixed. The maximum number of simultaneously active convoys has been increased from 1 to 3, which is excellent. Some bugs with the appearance of said convoys which led to the occasional jamming or severe stretching of the column have been fixed, and the convoy vehicles should now move more evenly. And the convoy destruction task and highlighting of convoy vehicles in AB mode now occur when all convoy vehicles have spawned. These changes to the convoys have definitely been needed, and they are actually now a fun objective to go after, giving strike aircraft something else to pursue aside from base bombing and fighting at ground battles. So in the past few months there have been some very positive and very welcome changes to the game mode, and the future looks even better. Last Grey Angel recently mentioned on the forums that they have plans to update the setups for AI aircraft in Enduring Confrontation, as well as making some significant changes to the airfields. Now, I will paraphrase what has been said so far. So in terms of AI, it looks like there are plans to update the setups for AI planes so that the bomber and attacking squadrons we currently see might be seeing some improvements. There was not much more information provided on this, so it could be interpreted in a number of ways. The AI squadrons could be receiving a general behavior overhaul, they might be getting increased in size, they might be new types of squadrons being added, who knows, but it is something I look forward to seeing more of. Now with airfields, we have been given a bit more information. There are plans to create different airfield setups for different ranks in Enduring Confrontation. There are also plans to add more close together airfields for the lower tier games, which I assume they mean tier 1, and the removal of closer together airfields in the higher tier games. Again, I'm paraphrasing what was being said here, but it looks like the proposed airfield changes are as follows. Low rank games would have 6 to 8 airfields, most of them being near or middle airfields, meaning they would be closer to the middle of the map. Mid-rank games would have 5 to 6 airfields with the current spread and setup that we would see on the live servers, so basically not much change for mid-rank. And high-rank games would have 4 to 5 airfields, mostly being set further back in the map. There are also plans to change the runway length for airfields depending on the tier of the game. So lower tier games would mostly have runways with a length of 1300 meters, mid-tier games would have runways with lengths of 1700 meters, and a couple further back which would be 3000 meters long, probably to accommodate heavy bombers, and higher tier games would have a standard runway length of 3000 meters. If implemented, these changes would make a massive improvement to the overall gameplay experience that we have in Sim right now, especially for high tier jets, which often run out of runway and crash unceremoniously into the undergrowth upon landing if you don't have any drogue chutes available. One final thing that was mentioned was an improvement to airfield defences. Currently they are testing Shilkas and Vulcans as viable aircraft defence for higher ranks. Hopefully these tests bear fruit. Now, some of these changes could apparently be arriving to the game within a month, but I'm not holding anybody to any timeframes on this. Changes will take as long as they need, and I would rather the developers take their time and make sure that they are done right. Overall, the past month has left me feeling a lot more optimistic about the state of Sim than the entirety of last year, and I guess it's just going to be a case of waiting to see how it all pans out. Anyway, I hope you found this sort of news flash / gossip video a little bit helpful, or at least informative. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Goodbye.